What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 1 Team Builder here in the NPBF. This week we are taking on Chris and the Nottingham Nihilegos, who was nearly undefeated last season, and honestly, I am expecting to lose this matchup. Now, granted, I am technically recording this after the fact, but going into this, I 100% was expecting to lose this matchup. Will I spoil the results for you? Absolutely not. And I'm not even in the correct team. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm gonna, hold on. You're gonna not see this for a second so I get the right team and not spoil my future teams. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me. My apologies. I totally goofed that. I'm very sorry. And now we are back. Haha. See? Easy peasy. Totally not that bad. So, yeah. Here we are. Here's the team. But yeah, going into this matchup, there were some key factors that pretty much said to me, it was like, if I don't get this particular situation to take place, I lose. If I'm not able to do this particular thing, I lose. If this particular thing does this particular thing, I lose. There are more instances of that potentially being the case in this matchup than there were anything else. So it was pretty much just a matter of how badly I was going to lose and what was going to beat me. So the way his team is built, you can clearly see it has bulk with like one or two offensive things to capitalize on the opponent's team. That's pretty much the gist of what I'm getting from it. His team consists of Garchomp, Umbreon, Porygon Z, Crobat, Aromatisse, Gallade, Pharisee, Toxapex, and Sableye, Jinx. And so yeah, like if you can look at that team and not kind of pick up on that strategy, then I don't know what kind of competitive Pokemon you're playing. But very clearly, it's designed so that the bulkier things like the Umbreon, the Crobat, the Aromatisse, the Pharisee, the Toxapex, the Sableye, all spread status, get chip damage, keep things worn down, stall things down out of their good moves, just kind of be overall nasty and annoying. And then they go into something like the Garchomp, or the PZ, or the Gallade, set up, and just sweep from there. That is basically the gist of what I gather from the strategy of how this is built. It seems to be pretty straightforward, and I can't really find anything else about it that really, like, any other, like, clear route that this thing can go. It could also go full stall if he wanted to, but I don't think Chris is that much of an asshole. Although I definitely could expect him to do it in certain matchups. But regardless, yeah. His team is scary. Chompingtons outspeeds our whole team, which is bad. Just outspeeds our whole roster flat out, outright, so that's pleasant. It's going to be a tough match. It's going to be a tough matchup, and another tough thing about it is when I was prepping for this, I looked at it and I was like, there's a lot of really slow things on this team that can also kind of benefit from having the Trick Room up, that can kind of cause me some issues. Like the Pharisee can definitely benefit from it, spread leech seeds around and just really be a nuisance, really piss me off. Toxapex could probably just recover in some of my Mon's faces without any real issues. Stuff like that. And Aromatisse, I've seen how well he uses Aromatisse last season. I don't particularly want to give him Trick Room with the potential of having an Aromatisse. I don't particularly think that that's a smart idea. So I decided not to go with bringing Trick Room this week. And we will see if that bites me in the ass. Because my team is very much designed to be Trick Room. Now, like I said, I could very well see my team completely changing by the end of these divisional matches. Because I'm going to try to keep my team the same for these divisional matchups. And then by the time those are done, I'll kind of see how I'm feeling about it and go from there. Right now, not feeling great about it. going into the matches, but we will see how that goes, how these go. But the first mon I decided to bring this week, because obviously I see Garchomp, so I think Ice, and I'm bringing my Frostallion, the Glastrier. So, one thing about Glastrier is its natural bulk is so ridiculous that, like, when I explain this calc to you, you're just gonna fucking lose your mind. So, we're running 208 HP, 252 attack with Adamant Nature, 4 into defense, and 44 into speed. We have the Charty Berry, obviously Chilling Neigh for the ability, which is just Moxie, Icicle Spear, Close Combat, High Horsepower, and Heavy Slam. Very simply put, this it hits so hard. It hits so hard, and things that come in on it don't want to come in on it if they don't have to. Icicle Spear was the go-to because I didn't want to take the chance of missing with Icicle Crash. That was pretty much the entire justification for that. Close Combat, the fighting coverage is good for things like the PZ and the Umbreon. Helps me pretty much nuke my way through those pretty well. Also for the Ferroseed, which is important. High Horsepower hits the Toxapex super effectively, which could be a prominent switch into this thing on his team. And then I have Heavy Slam for the Aromatisse because it does a lot of damage. That 44 in speed actually allows me to outpace a min-speed Toxapex, which could potentially, be very important. But, yeah, it's just a really strong mon. I have the Charty Berry on there because Garchomp very well is probably going to carry Stone Edge. And when I say that this thing just chews the Stone Edge, especially with the Charty, it does like 33... There's like 30-some%. Like, it's crazy. And that's from, like, Life Orb Garchomp. Like, Life Orb Garchomp hits this thing with the Stone Edge, and it does, like, 33%, thanks to the berry. But even still, the fact that this thing has the chance to live Stone Edge from a Life Orb Garchomp without the berry is gross. So, that's pretty sick. Really love that boy Glastrier. I'm really excited to have it, so hopefully you'll be able to put in some work in this matchup. Next up, we have Imhotep, the Kofagrigus, rocking the leftovers and the Mummy ability. Will-O-Wisp, Body Press, Pain Split, and Shadow Ball. 252 HP, 232 defense with a Bold Nature, and 24 in Spadef. Will-O-Wisp, just to kind of spread some burns around, get that extra chip damage going on some mons. Always nice to have. Body Press is really, really solid against some members of this team. Shadow Ball just kind of hits everything on the team except for the PZ, which we hit with Body Press. Pain Split is just to keep ourselves healthy on top of the leftovers, just to get that extra recovery. And just, it's pretty straightforward what this mon's meant to do. It's just meant to be bulky and just kind of chip away at his team, steadily throughout. I think that that's pretty much the goal here. Yeah. Next up, we have Bold Strategy, the Slurpuff. Really interesting set. He brings Ferroseed. We kind of just can't touch it, but that's okay. But, we'll get there when we get there. But we have Subcalm Mind, Draining Kiss, and Psychic on this one. Rocking the Pataya Berry with the Unburdened ability. 180 HP, so we have an even number, so that we can, you know, better hit that 25% HP point to pop it. 4 into defense, max special attack with a modest nature, and 72 into speed. The 72 in speed, once we pop our Unburden, allows us to outpace Crobat. Actually, it's probably supposed to be more. No, Crobat hits 394. Yeah, Crobat hits 394, so we hit 396. But, yeah. Honestly, if Toxapex is gone, or not Toxapex, if Ferroseek is gone or whittled down enough, and we can start getting some Calm Minds up, this thing wins. This thing just wins. Straight up. What stops this on their team? I don't see it. Psychic blows back Toxapex, especially once we start getting set up and stuff. Obviously, if he brings Haze, it could be problematic, but, like, that's if he brings Haze. And that's not a guarantee. Obviously. So, it can entirely just not bring Haze, and that'd be fine. Draining Kiss will keep us healthy, which is also very important. Because it is. It just is very important. You know, Draining Kiss, once we get some boosts up, especially, we'll OHKO things like the Garchomp. We'll 2-hit KO Umbreon pretty much most of the time once we get like a boost or 2 up. Blow through Gallade, blow through Sableye. Basically, like, this thing just wins if we can get rid of Ferroseed or weaken it down. So, hopefully we can get that thing weakened down into a point where, like, a Psychic will be able to take it out or something. Because literally Ferroseed is... yeah, fingers crossed we can make that work. Then we have Spiky Burb, the Zapdos, heavy duty Bizzles, with the Discharge, Heat Wave, Toxic, and Roost, just fully physically defensive Zapdos, with the static ability, because I couldn't really find anything else to do with it. Static is just good here. We switch in on things like the Ferroseed and the Toxapex and the Crobat very, very easily, and if we can get a toxic or a static off on one of those, that'd be fantastic. This also allows us to tank a Stone Edge from Garchomp, which is super important, in my opinion at least. It's super important. Just overall, I think like a physically defensive Zapdos is just really, really good in this matchup, and hopefully it does the work it needs to. Discharge, spread pairs to other things. Heat Wave, I went with Heat Wave specifically because I wanted to make sure that I had something that could smack that Ferroseed, because obviously, like, he might just stay in on Zapdos, you know, not fearing anything, and I think Heat Wave is just the play to get rid of it as quick as possible. It does so much damage to it. I think there's like a small percent chance that we can OHKO it on certain spreads, but I don't think, you know, obviously I'm sure he'll EV himself to not get OHKO'd. But yeah, it's a very solid mon. And then Toxic plus Roost just allows us to kind of sit in front of other mons and weaken them down, you know, whittle things down a little bit. Not too worried about it. But yeah, that's our Zapdos. Next up we have Mr. Puff, the Quillfish. with the Intimidate, Black Sludge. Spikes, Pain Split, Taunt, and Scald. Hazard removal-wise, his only removal is the Crobat, which to me feels kind of nice, because any situation where I can get some spikes up and start whittling down his team would be great. If I can get spikes up early, that's even better. Because honest to God, I would just rather, let the spikes do the work for me. I can deal with Crobat. That's not particularly difficult. That's not the hardest thing in the world to do. I can deal with Crobat. With my team, it's not super threatening. Excuse me. Pain Split just for recovery. Taunt to kind of shut down things like the Toxapex. And Ferroseed whenever they are in front of me. Because I don't really particularly want them to be doing much of anything if I can help it. And then I ran Scald because I know this thing's special attack is pitiful, but if I can catch something on a switch in, get a burn on like a Ferroseed or a Toxapex to kind of offset, it's Black Sludge or something like that, that's pretty cool. Plus this thing's here just in case Entei shows up. It gives me a really solid switch into Entei. Because it doesn't have Earthquake yet. Its best ground move is Stomping Tantrum. So, that's cool. That's nice. But that's about it for Quillfish. Nothing too crazy here. And then we have Budweiser, the Mudsdale, and this is possibly the set that I'm most excited about because it has a lot of potential to really just mess him up if I can get it going. We have Choice Banded, Stamina Mudsdale, Earthquake, Close Combat, Body Press, and Rock Slide. So, look at his team. What appreciates an Earthquake from this thing besides Crobat? Nothing appreciates an Earthquake from this thing. It's just going to chunk pretty much everything. Like, the only thing that doesn't get chunked by Earthquake is the Crobat. And that's why you have the Rock Slide. Rock Slide is to predict the Crobat switch in, take it out, and be done with it. Not too worried about it. Close Combat is there for the Ferroseed to help nuke our way past that thing. Because it's the thing on the team that takes the Earthquake the best. And then I just kind of threw Body Press on there because I figure like if I switch into a hit and I get the defense boost, and I feel like I can, utilize that at that point in time, I can lock myself into Body Press and start really messing them up that way. But most of the time, it's probably just going to be Earthquake getting clicked, and that's going to be it. Straightforward as fuck. It's just that good of a move, man. It's just that good. I don't know what to tell you. It's just it works. It does what it needs to do. I'm very much excited about that fact. So, Mudsdale has the potential to really, really mess up a lot of his mons. So, hopefully that will be the case once the match comes around. But, yeah, that's going to be it for our Team Builder. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. This will be going up, obviously, the day before the matchup itself. Obviously, I know the results currently, but I will not tell you those, because then why would you watch the game? That makes no sense. But, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, guys, I'm PokePrimer, and I'm signing off. Peace.